Good morning. My name is Chanae Collins, and it is an honor to be here today to be graduating with my bachelor's degree. When I first came to KingsGate in spring of 2015, I knew I was called. However, I was so hurt, angry, and depressed. My grandmother raised me, and there were so many things I didn't understand as a child. I always talked about being a lawyer, and being called to KingsGate totally wrecked everything that I had planned for my life. When I started school at KingsGate, it was a journey that I hated, but I've grew to love so much. I thought when I got there I could do and say whatever I wanted, even at the expense of hurting someone else. They say hurting people hurt people. I was reprimanded on so many different occasions due to my lack of consideration for others. I've come from a bigger university prior, so I didn't know how much of a factor I would be when I came to KingsGate. When you're called to something, you never know what you're gonna get through that process. But I knew I was called, and so it was either me leaving KingsGate or staying where I knew I had favor, and I knew that people loved me. I started to dig deeper in the Bible and find who I was called to be. When I came to KingsGate, there were so many people who loved me and who were interested in not where I come from, but interested in bringing out the woman that I was called to be. I started to see why things never worked before I came to KingsGate. I started to see why different universities were not for me. I started to see why I had to face the hardest obstacles of life. I started to see why me trying to commit suicide never worked. It was not because I was hated. It wasn't because God loved me less. It was for this very moment right here. It was to help encourage someone overcome the obstacles they thought would kill them. As I graduate today, since I have been a part of this illustrious church and college, I've become a woman who is no longer broken or defined by her past experiences. I've become a woman who has not let the past dictate her future. I've become a woman who has not let the abuse overcome her. I've become a woman who knows that with God all things were and will always be possible. I've become a woman who with God can stand before anyone and deal with any situation. However, most importantly, throughout this experience, I've become a godly woman who understands that life is everything, whether it be good or bad. And we all need all of the tough and uncomfortable disadvantages to become who we were all destined to be. Thank you.